Good evening and welcome to Verdict 2014 on Rajya Sabha TV. Well, after the big turnout for polling in the second phase yesterday, it is on to campaigning in constituencies that are going to polling in the third phase. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Let us begin by looking at the top stories that we are following today. Bodies of 4 more militants recovered after Tuesday's encounter between security forces and Pak militants along the line of control. 7 killed in all, including 6 militants and a security officer. Finance Minister sends out a strong message to Pakistan and anti-national forces. On a visit to Srinagar, Jaitley says there is no questioning that Kashmir is an inseparable part of India. And Kashmiri pundits in the valley remain skeptical despite elaborate promises made to vote this key section of the electorate. Well, security forces in Kashmir recovered bodies of 3 militants and a junior commissioned officer today during a search operation in Kupwara district of the state after foiling Tuesday's militant infiltration bid. Well, with the recovery of 4 bodies, a total of 7 persons, including 6 militants, have been confirmed killed in Tuesday's encounter. Today's search operation comes after an encounter between Indian Army troops and suspected Pakistani militants on the line of control in Nogam sector of Handwara on Tuesday. Militants had opened heavy fire when challenged by the troops. The gun battle was on even as Handwara went to polls in the second phase of the assembly elections yesterday, though it had no impact on the voter turnout. On the 27th of November, 4 militants were killed when an encounter broke out between the ultras and security forces in Arnya sector of Jammu and Kashmir. Meanwhile, 5 security personnel were among 6 people injured in a grenade attack by militants in South Kashmir's Pulwama district today. The police say that militants hurled a grenade at a part of security personnel at around 5:30 p.m. in Pohu area, wounding 6. The injured include 4 CRPF personnel, a policeman and a civilian. The militants escaped, taking advantage of the panic caused by the blast. No militant outfit has claimed responsibility for the attack so far. Pulwama goes to polls in the third phase of the voting on the 9th of December. And Finance Minister Arun Jaitley today extended his congratulations to the people of Jammu and Kashmir for turning out in high numbers to cast their vote. He was on a day-long visit to Srinagar for a so-called intellectual meet, setting the tone for campaigning for the third phase on the ongoing assembly elections.
पूरी दुनिया को जम्मू कश्मीर की जनता एक मैसेज और संदेश दे रही है कि अपने भविष्य का फैसला, अपनी तकदीर का फैसला वो अब खुद अपनी वोट के माध्यम से करने वाले हैं.
Finance Minister Jaitley looking to reach out to engineers, advocates and businessmen in Jammu and Kashmir capital Srinagar as the state heads into the third of the 5 state elections on the 9th of December. In his praise for Kashmiris coming out in large number to cast their ballot, Jaitley had a strong message for anti-national elements in the state.
इस देश में रहने वाले हर व्यक्ति को यह तो स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा कि जम्मू कश्मीर इस देश का एक अटूट हिस्सा है और खास तौर से हमारे पड़ोसी मुल्क को भी यह समझना पड़ेगा कि किसी भी तरीके का वो इस्तेमाल करें, इस देश के किसी हिस्से को वो हासिल कर नहीं सकते.
The finance minister also lashed out at troublemakers and anti-democratic forces operating in the state, stressing that they had failed in bringing about the desired change.
1/6 जनसंख्या जहां रहती है, 1/6 पॉपुलेशन पूरी दुनिया की हिंदुस्तान में, जिसकी इकोनॉमी बढ़ती जा रही है, आर्थिक ताकत बढ़ती जा रही है, जिसकी मिलिट्री ताकत भी है, उस देश में हिंसा, टेररिज्म और इंसर्जेंसी के माध्यम से कोई बदलाव नहीं लाया जा सकता.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is to address a rally in Srinagar on the 8th of December, a day ahead of polling in the third phase. 16 assembly segments go to polls in this phase. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, a key factor determining the BJP's performance in the J&K Assembly polls will be the Kashmiri Pandits. Now, the party has promised the rehabilitation of the community in the run-up to the polls. It has also promised quota for Kashmiri Pandits in the Assembly. But representatives from the community remain sceptical. Here's a report.
जम्मू कश्मीर के आखिरी आदमी तक डेवलपमेंट की रोशनी, विकास की रोशनी पहुंचे।
Their dwindling numbers in the valley is not a factor for the BJP, which is trying to make inroads in Jammu and Kashmir in these elections. In its vision document, the BJP promised to reserve 3 seats for Kashmiri Pandits in the 87-member assembly. But Kashmiri Pandits are skeptical. They see this as just another poll gimmick.
जब इनको इलेक्शन होता है तभी वोट मांगने आते हैं हमसे, तो इन्होंने वहाँ से जम्मू से उन्होंने रिहैबिलिटेशन के लिए कश्मीरी पंडित को बुलाया है कि रिहैबिलिटेशन का मेरे को मतलब नहीं समझ रहा है, रिहैबिलिटेशन किस चीज़ की है इनकी, रिहैबिलिटेशन का मतलब मेरे को सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट समझे किस चीज़ की रिहैबिलिटेशन।
BJP hopes to bag 5 assembly seats in Habakadal, Amirakadal, Sopore, Kanyar and Tral, which are Hindu majority areas. The party hopes that turnout of Muslim voters in these areas will remain low following election boycott call given by separatist leaders. The BJP is banking on the Kashmiri Pandits' vote to achieve its Mission 50+ target in the valley.
कि जम्मू कश्मीर के आखिरी आदमी तक डेवलपमेंट की रोशनी, विकास की रोशनी पहुंचे, उसके लिए जो भी हमें करना होगा हम ऑनेस्टी के साथ करेंगे। और आने वाले दिनों में हम आपको इस बात का यकीन दिलाते हैं कि जम्मू कश्मीर की तस्वीर और जम्मू कश्मीर में जो गुर्बत है, जो तमाम तरह की प्रॉब्लम्स है, उसको हल करने के लिए बीजेपी बहुत स्ट्रांग एंड ऑनेस्ट एफर्ट करेगी।
सबसे बड़ी पैकेज माइग्रेंटों के बारे में हुई वो नेशनल काउंसिल उमर साहब के दौर में ही हुई, जिसमें 3000 इनके बच्चों को नौकरियां दी गई और जिसके लिए उनके ज़मीनों को कंपनसेट किया गया, मकानों को कंपनसेट किया गया, जो इंडस्ट्रियल यूनिट्स हैं उनमें इनको कंपनसेशन दिया गया।
Several governments in Jammu and Kashmir have promised rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits, but too little has been done to ensure its implementation. Pandits feel they have been reduced to an election issue.
बस वोट डालने के टाइम बस, बाकी कुछ नहीं है। उसके बाद कोई नहीं है, ये आएगा वोट ले जाएगा अपना, तो बस मामला खत्म। अगर उनके घर में जाएगा फिर या जहाँ रहते हैं इनका रेजिडेंस, वहाँ जाएगा तो फिर उधर बोलेगा ये कौन है, कहाँ रहते हो, किधर रहते हो।
Over 1 lakh Kashmiri Pandits are living in exile in Jammu and other places since their exodus from the valley in the early 1990s. No government or relief package has yet convinced them to return to the valley. It remains to be seen how they react to the olive branch offered by the BJP in these elections. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
And news from Jharkhand, where a photo opportunity with Prime Minister Narendra Modi proved to be a costly affair for 12 BJP candidates in the state. The Election Commission has now asked them to bear the cost of the Jharkhand Vijay rally, where they shared the stage with the Prime Minister to seek votes.
Tightening its noose on poll expenses, the Election Commission has taken action against 12 BJP candidates in Jharkhand. The poll panel has directed these candidates to bear the expenses of the party's Vijay rally held in Daltonganj on November 21. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had addressed the rally, which was also attended by these 12 candidates, a move that cost them dear. The expenditure cell of the poll panel has now asked them to collectively pay 30 lakh rupees, an amount estimated to have been spent at the Vijay rally.
जो कैंडिडेट का फोटो है तो निश्चित तौर पर वो कैंडिडेट के प्रचार के लिए किया जा रहा है, तो वैसी अवस्था में कैंडिडेट्स उसे अपने जो खर्च में शामिल करते हैं और उसका विवरण देते हैं।
However, these candidates remain unaffected by the Election Commission's decision. They say they are willing to pay any amount to get clicked with Prime Minister Modi. According to them, Modi has changed the course of current day politics in India.
मोदी जी से बड़ा इस 1.25 लाख नहीं है ना, तो इसलिए ये समझ लीजिए कि मोदी जी के लिए 1.25 लाख क्या, 1.25 करोड़ क्या, 1000 करोड़ क्या, सब कुर्बान है।
हमारे बड़े नेता माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी आए और उस सभा में सभी प्रत्याशी उपस्थित थे, तो एक हौसला अफजाई भी होता है और जो उनके समर्थक जुटते हैं रैली में, उन तक जो संदेश हम पहुंचाना चाहते हैं उसमें हम सफल रहे, तो खर्चे की बात की हम चिंता नहीं कर रहे हैं।
But whether these candidates are able to garner votes riding on the Modi wave remains to be seen when results are declared on 23rd of December. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's all in our election special bulletin, Verdict 2014. Thanks for watching.